Well, is college for you? I mean, you have to think about this because it's either going to drive you in a lot of debt, or if you're lucky enough, you got parents or family that can help you pay for it. The thing that I'll say the most about whether or not to know right out of high school, okay, to know if college is for you. It's not necessarily a thing of you have to like school, because even the best doctors do not like school. I know that because I've talked to many of them. So you have to come to a conclusion of what are you trying to do in life? Like, you have to try and make sure that you're not doing something just for the money. Because the way that, as a 24-year-old who's experienced many things so far in my life, which I think I shouldn't have experienced, but I did, and I'm kind of glad that I did. Just because a job gives you a lot of money doesn't mean you're going to be happy. I was working 6 days a week and a college dropout. And I was like, man, I'm making the most I've ever made. But oh my God, I was so unhappy. So I give or take a scenario like this. Say you don't like finance. If you're an accountant, you're probably making six figures. So you could either work as an accountant, making six figures, making decent money, or you could do what you love and make less. Now, how does that pertain to is college for you? Well, I think the coolest part to know is that when you find an entry-level job, it gives you the realm of like, what does this entry-level job pertain to at the highest level? So for instance, if you're a store clerk or like, I don't know, you're a cashier, well, you're dealing with money, okay? So what's the next step that's dealing with money? Could it be a bank? Could it be an accountant? Could it be finance? I don't know. Well, guess what? You have to have a degree for that. Now, if you're like an assistant for a doctor or a dental place, well, that's the entry level thing, is an assistant. And maybe you're making top dollar. Let's just give or take it's $25 an hour. But you're like, man, I really want more. You obviously are going to have a degree for that, and education and experience to become more profitable in your career path. It's basically how I found out, right? I had an entry-level job, and I really wanted and want to become the biggest and best. That's just how I've lived my life, is knowing I want to be the biggest and best. So it all comes down to what you're trying to do in life. Are you doing it for the money, or are you doing it simply because you have the passion in it? Are you doing it for both? Because, I will say a lot of people go to college and end up with a 4-year degree or more and are making literally poverty line money. That's just because of the major. Like, it's, for instance, music, right? Music is a really bad major. Any liberal arts is pretty bad. It's not going to make you a whole lot of money, and you're going to be in debt for quite some time. So, as bad as college may sound, and it's hard, like high school, even if the high school tries to prepare you for it, it's not. By no means is high school and college even remotely related. You will have courses that are from high school that could maybe transfer over to college, but if you were to take, say, algebra in high school, you're like, man, this is kind of easy. But if you were to take algebra in college, you're like, oh, this is it. This is something else. So the best way that I can explain from my personal experience, and anybody that is watching this currently, is that to depict if college is really for you is to depict what you're trying to do in life and how you see yourself in the future, especially when you're at 40. And I know if you're 18, just graduated high school, it's something super hard to think about because that is so far away. But a lot of you are probably like, oh, I want to become this and that and that. and make millions. You all have to understand, and this is just reality because I'm dealing with the same thing. I've always wanted to become a YouTuber, and it's taken me almost a decade, and I'm still not really where I want to be. Have I made some revenue? Yes. Have I had some brand deals and sponsorships? Yes. But let's just say it takes a lot of dedication and a lot of luck to get to those spots where those people are super freaking wealthy. Or you could be one of those lucky few, again with the luck, that starts from the entry level and works their way up and becomes financially amazed. So, I hope that kind of helps you out. Because again, as someone who has been through this and is still going through this, it is rather hard to comprehend if you're not in this, but you really have to decide what you're trying to do. Because also you could think about this. A degree and education nobody can take away from you. So if you get a 4-year or you get a master's or you get whatever and you decide, nah, I'm going to actually just create my own business or something or become financially stable in that part, you can. You just got to learn about it. So thank y'all so much for watching. If you enjoyed, subscribe.